what's up? My name is Ryan. I thought I would share with you some tips and tricks for starting your saltwater aquarium if you are considering going into the hobby. These are some things that I wish that I had known beforehand. Yes, saltwater aquariums. The fish, the coral, everything is so much more beautiful. This is my first saltwater aquarium. I thought I did a pretty good job with it. The first thing, and one of the most important things you have to realize, is that you're going to be spending a lot of money. I saw this comment on another blog. Think of your worst nightmare, then double it, then you're about halfway there plus 1%. That's over 4 times as much as your worst nightmare. That actually is what I ended up spending here on my Biocube 14. That's not to say that you can't do this hobby for relatively cheap. I chose to use an all-in-one tank such as a Biocube because I was a beginner and I didn't know too much about setting up my own lighting, buying a separate tank and filtration and everything like that. What is the most costly thing in the tank? It is the coral. When I first planned on getting a saltwater tank, I actually thought that I was just going to get fish and no coral at all. I wasn't even going to have one piece. Then I bought one piece and then the addiction started. The next thing you're going to have to do is you're going to end up spending a lot of time researching. A lot. I think one really good strategy is to actually go on Yelp and find a saltwater aquarium store that you think can really guide you through the process, especially if you've never done a saltwater aquarium. There's a lot of research that needs to go into what kind of fish are suitable for a specific tank. Another thing you have to consider is what kind of coral can live inside of a tank. Do they like high flow? What's their temperament? Do they reach out their tentacles a lot to sting other corals? You consider how many fish you can fit in a tank. A tank like this size, a 14-gallon, I had 4 fish in there. That was really pushing the limit, especially since I was getting diatom outbreaks all the time. If you want a specific fish, I would suggest researching your tank and what kind of tank it would require before you get the fish. Another thing that you need to remember about aquariums is that it takes so much patience. When you first get your tank, you can't even buy any fish for it. You have to let it cycle for a month. I was like, oh my gosh, how am I supposed to wait that long? Another thing you need to take into consideration, especially with the Nano cube like this, is the lighting. The lights that come with most tanks are not very strong. You can keep probably soft corals in there, but if you really want to be able to enjoy the color of your coral and have the colors pop, you're really going to need to invest in incredibly expensive lights. I have purchased Panorama Pro Module lights, one white strip and one blue strip. Aquarium maintenance, that is one reason why a lot of people are afraid of doing saltwater aquariums. They're like, oh my gosh, it's so much work. I actually found that it's not too much work to maintain your aquarium. For example, my aquarium, the alkalinity tends to drop a lot every single day. So what I do is I just figured out how much it drops and I just pour a little bit of that and toss it into the tank. That's pretty much it. Once a week I would also do a water change where I just suck out about this much of the water and just pour new water in. That takes about 5 minutes. Aquarium maintenance is not that big of a deal. I have videos on my aquarium maintenance also, so I'll put a link in the description below if you want to check those out. Okay, so let's consider where to place the aquarium now. You might have a good idea where you want to place it, but take these 2 things into consideration. One of them is you don't want any vents near your aquarium. So over here, as you see, we have no vents. This can cause the aquarium's temperature to rise and lower like crazy. Another thing you don't want is you do not want it to be in direct sunlight. So basically away from windows. As you can see, this tank is actually in an alcove away from direct sunlight. So perfect. You also want the tank to be in a very easy to reach place, which I have a step stool over here for that. You'll be sticking your hand in the aquarium a lot, especially when you're placing corals. I have a cupboard over here, filtered seawater over here. This is RODI water, my Reef maintenance kit, my bucket for water changes, and towels and stuff. So when you first get your aquarium, you want to figure out what your filter medium is going to be. I chose to use live rock. It's also the natural way. I have tons of live rock. So this aquarium has 25 pounds of live rock. Not all of the live rock appears in this front area over here. When I open my Biocube over here, I have chambers in the back of this aquarium. Over here, which is where I put my live rock. I also created a refugium. And over here is where I have my heater and my pump. And so that's it for this video. Make sure to subscribe to my main channel, vlogaftercollege.com. I include my aquarium in my daily vlog with aquarium updates. And I'll leave you guys with some awesome shots from my aquarium. Good luck! So I thought I would do a really quick aquarium tour here. If you didn't follow me from the beginning, you might not be able to know what all the different corals are, just in case you were wondering. The thing that I have the most of in my tank is zoanthids. I have many different kinds.